And I think we're on camera, JP. Are you ready to go to game number 3?
I am, but you know, since we are the nice casters that we got to ask the crowd, are you guys ready for game 3 between TLO and Boxer?
Let us know, make some noise. We're all the way backstage.
I think they're ready.
It's time. So I will start the game, and we're going to see who's going to win. I actually have no clue. I have no clue who's actually going to win this.
Yeah, I'm not too sure myself. We are going to be jumping into Shakur's Plateau as our next and final map. So really anything can happen on this map. A lot of it's going to really come down to, obviously, who's going to go mech, who's going to go exactly what. But that last game, you know, that attack from Boxer and that play from TLO in response was actually the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
It was pretty interesting. Let's go ahead and get these players introduced. In the red, we have one of the most creative players I've ever seen. Many people don't know this, but his older brother is called the Big One. His ID, and that's actually true. I know I almost made you choke on water, but that's actually true. That's how he got his idea. His ID, TLO, the Little One. Give him some noise. Did you know that?
I knew that.
They used to 2-on-2 together, man.
Yeah.
There was the Big One and the Little One.
Yeah. I bet you there was a lot of crude jokes in those games.
If they had a middle one, it'd be like the middle one. He's like, this ID's terrible. All right. Over here, on the opposite side of the map, they call him the Emperor, a.k.a. SlayerSBoxer.
Now, both players are spawning on the top of this map, and that is going to favor drop play once they figure it out where they actually are. So TLO's going for that same build again, actually.
He loves
the
it.
Rex on the edge of the map. He will lift that and turn into mech play. We've seen him do it 2 games in a row now. And Boxer's going mech.
Yeah, and of course, as you can see here, SlayerSBoxer now going for quick barracks, or a quick refinery rather, and barracks a little bit after that. So we may see a similar build from SlayerSBoxer.
And there's the SCV going out for TLO. And
just checking for a proxy.
Okay, that is true. You know, sometimes in kind of a, not really a desperation move, but trying to catch your opponent off guard, players will do a proxy like that. So very smart of TLO to go over there and check it out.
And of course, you could check anywhere for, you know, hidden structures, but there's always a few set places. This is an incredibly common place to hide it. And, you know, not all the top players check that location because proxies are not quite as common at, you know, the highest level play, the Grandmaster play. All right, and where you're going to have an orbital coming up here the moment that barracks finishes.
There's the factory going down. You know, he still is on 1 refinery, so maybe another Cloakless Banshee build coming out of Boxer. We'll really be able to figure that out once his factory is done and see the tech lab, obviously, or the starport started. So just kind of waiting and seeing how that will unfold. There's the reactor going down on the Rex, so maybe not Banshee.
Yeah, we're going to have to wait and see right now. Now, TLO does know, guys. He saw everything here. TLO knows his TVT builds better than JP and I do, so he might have actually been able to see this and identify it.
Well, you actually just can't know his TVT builds because they are crazy.
They actually, that's true. They are completely crazy.
Yeah. He does nothing standard.
No, never.
At all.
Well, the thing about playing against TLO is the only really real way, and this is actually true for SlayerSBoxer too, but the only way to really know how to play against them is to just play them a lot because they play in such a very unique way. Command Center now coming here for SlayerSBoxer.
Yeah, and we're actually going to see a reactor factory Hellion play and with a fast expand after that.
So the barracks is now floating across the map, about halfway there. And there's going to be yet another, you know, advantage that TLO, is going to get because he's going to say, okay, I know exactly what they're going for. And then from there, he can just identify the problem and try to come up with a solution. And after that, it's basically up to execution.
Yeah, we see the bravest Marine ever trying to take out that Rax. Has a lot of HP to chew through, though, so it will be able to go further into the base. Meanwhile, TLO actually adding on the starport. Does have a couple of Hellions out. His second command center will be finished in just a couple seconds. 1 Hellion from Boxer. Try to poke up and see what was going on. But if you go into his view for a second, you know, all he saw was that command center. Actually, if you go into Boxer's view, he hasn't even really scouted his opponent at all, Tasteless.
Yeah, let's take a look at that. Yeah, he never really got much intel, did he? I mean, he did see the additional a command center. But as far as TLO goes, TLO knows everything. He's got, SlayerSBoxer's little book of secrets right now.
Yeah, and he's seen his expansion, seen the entire army composition, and still the bravest Marine in the world.
This Marine's going to be pretty good at firing and stuff in the air by the end of this game. Okay, the Vikings now out. This may trigger the barracks to land. We'll see. More and more Hellions coming out right now. A bit of a passive game so far at the start of this.
Yeah, and pretty different, from that last game where it was just all-out weirdness, all-out mayhem, really.
Yeah, no kidding.
The Reapers coming out, and there goes the Rax, is in the red, so it will die. TLO started with the Hellions, wall off at his natural, adding on his third gas, it looks like, and also another starport there. And then up to his second starport. Let's see what he's going to be going with that. Is it just going to be Mass Viking for some Sky Terran play?
We'll have to see. I mean, it certainly could be. It would look like that in this case, wouldn't it? By the way, guys, while we do have some downtime, go ahead and add us on Twitter. I am Call Me Tasteless, and he is ItMeJP, and feel free to tweet at us. We'd love to hear from you guys. And be sure to hashtag MLG.
Yeah, and let us know if you're out there barcrafting, if you're watching the streams. Just let us know what you're up to, man. Maybe if you're barcrafting, you can let us know, and we could possibly do a Skype call-in and give you guys a huge shout-out. Just let us know via Twitter.
All right, we have the reactor over here and the tech lab. This will be Sky Terran style from TLO, and I actually love this this style of play. I prefer it a little bit more when you're in really close proximity.
Yeah.
By air. Obviously, they're closer by air than they are by ground, but still, it's a great build, especially on a map, for instance, like Metalopolis.
Right. That is very true. We do have some Hellions in the middle of the map. Blue Flame started, but nowhere close to being finished, so he will fall back and leaving one Hellion at that Xel'Naga tower. Meanwhile, in TLO's base, he has started, of course, that one Banshee, 2 Vikings. He does have a couple of tanks scattered throughout his base, so he is pretty well defended against any drops, at least for the time being.
More and more Vikings being cranked out here. When you have that reactor on there and you're making the Banshee, sometimes things can just snowball out of control. The best response, and we see SlayerSBoxer having that best response, is to go ahead and try to get a Thor out.
Yeah, we saw in game 1. This is pretty similar to that mech build that Boxer was doing, and it secured him the win, so he feels pretty confident with that, obviously. But you know what? We have a little bit of some downtime as we see these Vikings and Banshees flying over, so maybe not too far. How's Korea, man?
It's great, man. I'm loving it. And if you guys ever want to come out to the GSL studio, please, I would recommend you do so. It's a lot of fun. Lovely country, lovely people, and they all play StarCraft and StarCraft 2. Oh, nice little harass here, but the Thor comes out just in time. He's going to lose so much if he's not careful. Thors are so scary as anti-air units.
And those 2 Thors, Boxer might be able to just maybe push and put on some pressure, but if we look at TLO's natural, he does have these 3 siege tanks as well as a pretty nice wall off, so no Hellions could get in. We see a Rax now back here on the low ground from TLO's base, but nothing really started from that. Looks like TLO's going to give it one more try with the Vikings and Banshees, possibly going into the natural.
Yeah, this is one of the only problems with going for the Sky Terran styles is when that Thor comes out. I know I'm sort of repeating myself, but it is a tough situation to deal with. Is that Thor is just going to be so good against all your Banshees. I think sometimes Sky Terran style is best when you see them going for Hellion Siege Tank, and you want to throw them off real quickly because Banshees can do damage so quickly.
That is very true. It's also so smart here. Boxer walling off completely at his natural while moving out. This is, of course, so any Hellions can't get in or anything like that. And this is actually a pretty powerful attack as Boxer's going to be moving out, but he actually isn't using a map hack, so he won't see these siege tanks over the natural.
Scanning the entrance here. Now the problem for TLO is these siege tanks do not cover the depot, the bunker, or the barracks, so I'm not entirely sure. Thor, Hellion moving out now. And, this is just an interesting situation. I think TLO, if I could just say so, I feel like even though their supplies are even, I feel like he's like a little bit more behind.
Yeah, we see 2 more command centers, and I think the entire reason for Boxer moving out there was to check and deny a third base as he started one of his own. But little does he know that there's 2 command centers up for TLO there in his main. He's adding on some more racks. He's going to start diversifying his army, kind of getting out of these Sky Terran. But there are some battle cruisers popping out.
Yeah, here's some now moving out across the map. And, you know, you don't normally see somebody go for battle cruisers like this because, well, it's hard to support. You don't actually have the economy to do it. Uh-oh, here we go.
Oh, no. Is he going to be able to engage? The siege mode has been started. Boxer scanning right on top of that, so he does not want to obviously engage that. And a bunker going down for TLO, so possibly a very slow, well, you know, I thought he might do a crawl across the map, but he's just going to fortify his position and get his third up. It looks like Boxer is going to have something to say to that.
All right, he's moving up here with these siege tanks. TLO, I don't know if he can hold this location. Here come the Thors now, doing so much damage to the siege tanks. Note, not the Thors. Yeah, he's actually targeting those very intentionally. And these siege tanks are going to go down. That means he could take these siege tanks over here and move them up. Uh-oh. That's a lot of Thors, JP.
Yeah, I mean, but Thors really don't do all that much damage to battle cruisers.
Right?
Those 2 BCs actually tanked all 4 of those Thors for quite some time. TLO lifting the orbital command there. Looks like it was just a misclick, though, at his third, and Boxer's going to fall back with those 4 Thors. So TLO's going to just probably sit like this for a while, get a bigger army, and then eventually push out. He really isn't comfortable doing it at this moment.
As you can see, the Hellions may try to run around here, but both these guys have been pretty smart in walling in their entrances. We'll see, though. It looks like he's going to debate doing it.
Go. Is he going to get in?
Oh!
And he gets up in time. He's going to lose so many of those Hellions. And, you know, even though he lost a lot of those, 125 supply for TLO, 155 for Boxer, he is just looking so, so good.
Yeah, he really is. He's looking really solid, really strong. The Hellions now move out here. And, look, Boxer has map control. He's also managed to bully TLO. I think a lot of this goes back to that Sky Terran style. You know, battle cruisers come out so slowly that even though the Thors are not exactly fantastic against them, it's pretty damn difficult to get enough out in time that you can actually push back the Thors. Thors do make faster than BCs.
Yeah, that is a very good point. So Boxer just sitting in the middle of the map, up to a total of 6 Thors, but he's not really sure if he wants to move in just yet. Maybe just control and maybe split the map. We have seen him do that in the past in some of these other matchups. And for TLO, you know, he's just really, really playing a very passive, turtle-y game right now.
Yeah, he really is. As you can see, again, it's going to be a little bit, guys. I mean, they're both posturing quite a bit. We do have the 4th base now for TLO, and excuse me as I say that the 4th base starts for SlayerSBoxer as both players try to amass up as much as they can on the map. We'll see who's going to be the first to budge. It's 170 supply to 171 supply. That's pretty damn even.
Yeah, TLO just actually caught up really, really quickly. He does have a lot of these Raxes in his base, so even supply right now, and he's very bio heavy as well as having. He actually just has almost one of every unit in the Terran arsenal, to be honest.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy right now. So we do have all of these Vikings over here. A lot of scans coming down right now, and again, you know, one true factor here is that this location will actually not be easy for TLO to take.
Yeah.
If you look at a split map situation, pretty easy for these siege tanks from SlayerSBoxer to get down here and hit these. And that may play a big role as this game gets pretty late.
Uh-oh, and it looks like TLO is going to make a push out here, leading with the Vikings and BCs, but he has a lot of units in these medevacs up here, landing a couple of them to take care of that Hellion. But uh-oh, here comes the Vikings up. Boxer, he might be able to intercept them.
He has to turn around, but don't forget there are those medevacs over here. And he's landing the Vikings. SlayerSBoxer is unsieging. He might even, oh no, he's sieging up again. Excuse me, I think he's in a state of panic right now. And is now going towards these 2 very important expansions of SlayerSBoxer. He needs to get over there in time, leaving the siege tanks and a few Hellions so he can't be bum rushed by SCVs. He moves in here, and again, so many Vikings.
is not looking good for TLO, losing all of his BCs, a lot of the ground force already down, only 2 tanks up on the high ground, and SlayerSBoxer saying, no, you're not going to be able to do anything with this attack, and I'm once again going to get the supply lead, Tasteless.
Well, he's just so impressive right now. Here comes the break, though. He's moving up towards the front, and he has to break through here, or there's really not much he can do. There are a good number of siege tanks here for TLO, but the spread here for SlayerSBoxer is pretty damn impressive as well.
Yeah, Boxer still such a huge supply lead. TLO really trying to break this, but I don't think he's going to do it because the Thors, although slow, will be able to take out those tanks. There's only a few remaining for TLO.
This is so crazy. Here come the Thors, Congo line of Thors right now, moving up, and they may be able to wipe out the remainder of these siege tanks.
Need to be careful, though. Marines are pretty good against Thors. And I apologize, Tasteless.
No problem. And we have, as you can see here, it's many more barracks coming over here. I don't know about this, okay? I don't think you could switch into bio after doing mech.
Yeah, I mean, you're obviously going to have to get a lot of racks up, etc. So we'll really have to see. But, I mean, if you look right now in the center of the map, you see these SCVs repairing. You see about a 30 supply lead for Boxer, and he's probably going to take his entire left-hand side of the map. There's a lone Viking over here at this 4th base. It's going to chip away at these SCVs. Eventually, something will go down there and take it out, though. It looks like we see a bunch of Hellions coming from the middle of the map.
Another scan here in the center of the army. TLO just trying to figure out, what do I need to do to come out on top here? This is such a bad situation. SlayerSBoxer just taking so much of the map. And again, guys, I think this location over here will play a big role if it does get split map. That'll be the one location TLO has to struggle to get.
Yeah. I mean, that is,
these locations as well.
It's going to be really hard to break into. There is yet another drop coming up for TLO, this time only 8 Marines. As we see it going to try to go to the 4th base of Boxer. A scan does come down, but a sensor tower just now finishing, and there's a patrol of Vikings that are going to kill that medevac very quickly. TLO can just not break into Boxer's economy really effectively.
Boxer's having none of this. And by the way, SlayerSBoxer now maxed out with a TLO at 154 supply.
Yep, and we do have some Ravens out, and we have the Hunter Seeker missile upgrade coming out for TLO. So if there's really any way he can take out a lot of the units if they are clumped together, it's going to be those Hunter Seeker missiles, and that's going to be one of the more exciting things to watch, to look for in this match.
Yeah, I'm really excited and looking forward towards that if that does end up turning out to be the case here. You know, SlayerSBoxer's actually had such a brilliant job of just keeping his army so balanced, and that whatever TLO has, it doesn't favor him. All right, now as you can see here, we do have Hunter Seeker missile almost done being researched.
And he's actually getting pretty high up in the Raven count, producing 2 at a time, already up to a total of 5 here. For TLO, Hunter Seeker missiles can do a lot of damage, but they have to connect first, and that's one of the hardest things to do with them.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good thing Blizzard increased their speed. And here's what I'm talking about. Now it's SlayerSBoxer's cut off this one critical expansion. He just needs to get some Vikings over here to deal with this. But if the Hunter Seeker missiles connect, here we go.
Is he going to launch them? He does have the energy, but no, it looks like he wants to pull back at the moment. The Vikings are pressing forward, doing their best. I'm not sure if Boxer knows yet. There's a PDD going down, but it will be taken out very quickly. And this isn't good for TLO. He's using so much energy on those PDDs.
And here we go. This is actually a sad situation here as all these Ravens are being taken out. This is huge to lose all these Ravens after investing so much into that. It's actually fine to lose some of the Vikings. He can back off now and just remake.
That was actually, did TLO forget that he had Hunter Seeker missile? I mean, he used every single ability on those Ravens when he was being chased by a huge amount of Vikings. I have no
idea. I didn't actually get a glimpse of it. He might have not had the energy. He might have actually, it's either he didn't have the energy or he forgot, because we definitely saw it get upgraded. And he had Ravens out for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I could say.
Yeah. So, again, I mean, not too much has happened here in the middle field, as both players just sitting pretty with all their siege tanks. We see a ton of sensor towers up for Boxer, but at the same time, I mean, TLO does have this one here.
We got to push. He's inched his way in here. Will there be enough to defend over here?
Uh-oh, he's moving forward. Looks like he will take out those siege tanks.
+2 attack here.
Well,
For SlayerSBoxer, and actually
+2's pretty good.
Yeah, well, it's better than +0. And wow, I'm a little bit shocked to see that we actually do not have upgrades here for TLO.
Yeah.
I didn't even think to check, and then I look at it and I'm like, oh, that's weird.
Well, I mean, if you look at the mineral and gas count right now, 4,500 for Boxer, 2,000 gas, 200 minerals, 500 gas for TLO. It's really becoming a war of attrition here. And, I mean, TLO's obviously not going to win that.
Look at the beautiful sensor placement on the mini-map here at the bottom left. 3 sensor towers up here for SlayerSBoxer. There's really no way that TLO can move on the map without being detected here. We do still have some more Ravens out here. Is this going to be the moment we have the point defense drone? We're going to find out soon. Yeah,
this is going to be a very important attack. You know, if he can get these Hunter-Seeker missiles out, it's really going to be able to break through the middle. But, I mean, going into the unit tab, we have a total of, well, Boxer also has 4 BCs in the middle, but he's also got 15 Vikings. So, I don't know, man. Hunter-Seeker missiles might not be able to break through that with those Thors, with those BCs.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. We haven't seen nukes yet or anything else like that. So it's a scenario where, you know, it's I'm waiting for that moment. But for the time being, I guess we have to sit back. More command centers. Oh, guys, I love it when SlayerSBoxer does this. He's going to get so many orbitals. He's going to have so many mules. He can sacrifice his SCVs and free up his supply.
And it looks like he is going to be moving forward now with the Ravens. And here we go. The Hunter-Seeker missiles are out.
Nice.
To kill 3 tanks. And that is it, Tasteless.
That is it. But look at all this. Imagine a Hunter-Seeker missile hitting this over here.
That is some scary stuff indeed. But
looks like he's debating sniping him.
Yeah, Boxer doesn't want to get anywhere near those. So it's going to be kind of a game of cat and mouse right now.
Yeah, it looks to be the case. And BCs, Vikings, such air dominance here. TLO realizing, well, I'm still behind. You know, what do? I guess I have to try to break this corner over here so I can secure this location. SlayerSBoxer, look at these guys landing mules on each other. So that way the tanks will automatically siege up and hit those mules. And they will end up doing so much damage to their own tanks. Free damage.
Now we do have Yamato actually just finished for Boxer. And if he can get in there and Yamato cannon these Ravens, although there are a lot, he could definitely move forward with a huge amount of his army. But this is going to be this is going to be Rain versus Boxer all over again.
It is. It really is. Okay, as you can see, SlayerSBoxer, he's doing this intentionally, guys. He's getting rid of the mules because, the SCVs because he wants to start landing mules.
Yeah. And both players, TLO's at 200, 200, Boxer's at 193 of 200. But really, neither player wants to commit just yet. A ton of scans going down for both players, trying to see what's going on. TLO loading up a couple of these medevacs. It looks like he's going to send them northward for a drop. We'll have to see how that's going to do.
And, here's the thing is that there's just, it's going to be a little bit for the time being. We got to wait for this drop to kind of move in there. And we do have to hold that thought, though. The Thors are now moving out over here. He will not give him this location.
Yeah, you called it, man. This is going to be a very important situation for TLO to actually win in, but he's not going to do it. Here come the Vikings coming up. The Hunter-Seeker missiles going out, destroying those Thors.
Well, that did free up some supply, of course, for SlayerSBoxer. So he might not want those Thors as much.
That might have been why he did that, to be honest. He's still adding on a bunch of BCs. He's actually getting 5 Ravens of his own. The Hunter-Seeker missile finished, so is the Corvid reactor. The drop has not landed just yet up here for TLO, though.
TLO just getting more and more orbitals. The drop is now moving out, but there are medevacs here, or there are Vikings here to try to take them out.
There's also a handful of missile turrets, and this drop is going to get stopped as all of the Vikings of SlayerSBoxer make it up here. The Marines do get on the ground, and they are going to be stemmed. He's going to lose a lot of the Vikings, but he's got so much money in the bank that he's going to lose them, but he'll be able to rebuild them for sure.
Wow, so many Vikings there picked off. And at the unit counting station, it's about 26 Vikings for TLO, a mere 16 here for SlayerSBoxer.
And we see in the middle of the map, the Ravens have kind of centered in on the center for Boxer. And over here, let's find the Ravens of TLO. There we go. The Hunter Seeker missile going out once again on a tank.
Oh, he's got to be careful.
Uh-oh. The Vikings are there. Is he going to be able to get some Hunter Seeker missiles off? Oh, he gets one
Here
off.
we go.
But it won't kill all that much.
Oh, I think SlayerSBoxer can move in now. It's not clear what's going to happen. Scanning each other. Perhaps neither player even sure right now of whether or not they can win, since the magnitude of each player's army is actually so epic, so complex.
Yeah. I mean, actually, you know what people can do right now is queue up that GIF creator, because we're probably about to see a giant war that will be played back over and over on sites like Reddit. But we have to wait for this fight to occur.
Well, this is just getting ugly here. I mean, we have so much stuff, JP, and I think neither player is sure if they can move in or not. But let's face it, TLO did secure this expansion over here. And, you know, SlayerSBoxer can't allow that to occur.
Yeah. This is actually like a game of big game hunters where everyone just has the best army possible, and no one's willing to actually commit to an attack.
Exactly.
It's such an important match, obviously. Here come the Hunter Seeker missiles going down on 2 tanks. They don't actually kill anything. We have some SCVs being repaired, or some tanks repairing those SCVs, though. Boxer wants to commit to an attack. So many scans going down, but he's just not sure when.
The problem is that he'll have so many Hunter Seeker missiles, TLO, well, that he can actually spam all that out. Same with our other player, TLO. I mean, they have so many Hunter Seeker missiles that everything can be destroyed so quickly, so easily. In this sort of back and forth scenario here, as you can see, their armies are so big they can't even mine on some regions of the map. They can merely occupy it.
Is Boxer going to go?
He's budging.
I don't know. Real quick before we get into this fight, 40 Vikings for TLO, 10 Ravens for Boxer. He's got 13 BCs, 8 Ravens, and 22 Vikings. He's getting closer, Tasteless.
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Absolutely insane. Hunter Seeker missiles coming out doing so much damage right now, as you can see. TLO's army, or a fleet, I should say, and not in good shape. The orbital was destroyed. Oh my God, that was insane.
Yeah, now, I mean, it's really looking good for Boxer because he does have those Ravens, although he was just getting target focused down, and here come the Vikings of TLO. Starting on the BCs, but the Yamato cannons are going off.
Oh my God. This is probably the best air battle I've ever seen. But are there too many Vikings here? It's not entirely clear.
I think there might be, even though he has the better upgrades. TLO is going to take out the Boxer army.
This is actually insane. I had no idea how that battle was going to end because it was more epic than that final battle in Lord of the Rings. Now we have more and more Vikings being remade over here by SlayerSBoxer, and you know, when you have this much of the map and the economies are this strong, it's pretty easy to recover everything.
Yeah, he's producing 12 Vikings at a time here. Let's find the starport plant real quick.
I think it's all over the place. We have some shots of it here. Yeah. Look at that.
9 starports in his possession.
Right. He's moving in here once again. He's got to be careful. Again, those are very softened up Vikings. Note, he's very smartly landing all of his mules. TLO is here at this base along with all of his SCVs. He doesn't need to mine here right now or here. He can mine this stuff later after he's mined out this location.
TLO is going to be moving forward here into Boxer's territory. He has a lot of Ravens here. They do have enough energy for a handful of Hunter Seeker missiles, landing half of the Vikings. But here comes Boxer, and the Hunter Seeker missiles are off.
They're getting close, getting close.
Oh, Boxer pulling the 2 away that were focused.
Oh,
the 3
so
away.
nice.
That is so smart, but at the same time, he does lose the orbital.
That was actually insane. I really didn't expect TLO to recover from this position, taking out that orbital now and then backing off.
You know, Boxer's almost mined out on his side.
Is he? Let's take a look.
He has 3 active mineral patches right now. TLO just got a new base up here next to his main. And, you know, he actually has a lot more minerals accessible to him at this stage in the game.
Yeah, you know, SlayerSBoxer might have secured most of the map and then eventually not managed to succeed in destroying TLO, who's now been behind. who was behind now, is actually in great shape. Walking up here with Vikings, so smart. Here we go. Do we have the Hunter Seeker missiles coming?
I don't think he has the energy.
Oh,
Tasteless.
no, it's so many Ravens being shot down. Oh my God, he got the orbital.
Died.
This is like the most insane TVT. I cannot believe how good this game is.
Yeah, you know, that's just a huge move by Boxer there, denying that base. And he's actually going to move forward, land all these Vikings, and go for yet another base of TLO. And it looks like he will be able to get this with ease.
Oh my God, this is just brilliant. But here come the Vikings. Now remember, he can actually park on top of these Vikings. And there's
he
just
has enough energy for Hunter Seeker, and they're actually going off.
Oh!
Here we go! Oh, it didn't do all that much damage. Here comes another, though. Getting
Very
more
nice.
and more. The Banshees are now coming in. A scan does go down.
Hey, yeah, and here's the thing, guys. If he lifts it up, this is what happens. The Vikings do so much damage all at once. Oh my God, this game is so insane.
We actually have 2 tanks over here for TLO, sieging on these missile turrets.
You might want to get the sensor tower too.
Yeah, he could actually break in. Looks like that's what he's waiting to do with his Sky Army at the same time. Boxer is moving down with all of his army, and he has a ton of battle cruisers.
And also look at the supply difference, guys. That really tells a story here. SlayerSBoxer, even though he's been losing units back and forth here, he's at 184 supply to TLO's 110.
Uh-oh, that is not a fight that TLO wants to engage in, but looks like he's going to anyway, focusing down the battle cruisers. Not enough energy for the Hunter Seeker missiles. TLO is losing Vikings ever so quickly here. And oh, the Thor's getting in some shots.
Oh,
Hunter
my
Seeker
God.
missiles going off. GG. Boxer has done the impossible and taken this game.
I'm blown away. My God, was that a complex, and just, that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun.
You know, actually, before Boxer comes out of his booth, I think he's doing it right now. Make a huge amount of noise, guys.
Yeah, when he gets out of that booth. Okay, he's out of the booth. Yeah, guys, give it up. As you can see, I think both
Big round
players.
of applause for both players.
They've got to be happy about that. TLO and SlayerSBoxer. Just an unbelievable game. SlayerSBoxer has to feel amazing after a win like that, knowing that he could still bring some of the best games in StarCraft 2, just like he did in StarCraft 1.
That is some intense stuff. I mean, you could see him there. That's just hard to play that long, man. At that
is
level.
just that was quite a game of endurance, man. I cannot even believe. I can't even imagine playing a game that looked like that. It's actually insane.
That's just too much work.
I know, man. That was hard enough to cast and figure out what was going on and who was going to win. Jeez.
All right.
All right. Well, I guess that does it for now.
We got to take a break. Artosis is going to be hopping back in the caster seat, coming up with you in just a little bit. And I believe the Blue Stream will be returning as well in just a couple of minutes. So, guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more StarCraft 2 action here from MLG Orlando. I'm MLG.TVPool. Tasteless. We'll see you guys then.